Hello, welcome to a very special episode of Streaming Rainbow, Mythos of War, Journey Through the Pyrenees. We're so glad to have you for the finale. As this is our last time together in this group, I want to give my players an opportunity to shout out any projects or anything they would like at this moment. Julia?
Hi, hello. My name is Julia Labusch. You can follow me on Instagram at queenjulia_11. I am also on Blue Sky, but I don't use it as much. I'm trying to get better about that. So if you follow me there and bug me there, maybe I will. It's also some variation of Queen Julia 11. I don't think the underscore is in there. It might be. You'll find it. I believe in you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Bastion.
Hey folks, I am Bastion. The only content I have to shout out is the content you are watching right now. Get in the Discord, join the community, watch more streaming Rainbow content. We got all flavors of awesome role-playing and other incredible seasons that David has run. If you enjoy this, you're going to enjoy those as well.
Real quick,
Julia.
So sorry, I forgot to mention I also have a YouTube channel. Which is just my name, Julia Labusch. If you want to watch my play or hear me sing, that is on there. Thank you.
And Mac.
Hi, I'm Mags. Like Bastion, a lot of my content that I have to push is also here. A variety of one-shots and also Essa Sophia, which Julia is also in. You guys probably should have watched that before this. That probably would have helped. But you all can also find me on most social media at Magneto795. I just shitpost a bunch and occasionally post my face on Instagram and share book opinions on Blue Sky. So there's that.
Also Curry Creative does an incredible amount of work
I
for us.
forgot about that because I don't really post much to that Instagram anymore. But you can still follow it if you want. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, and if you enjoy some of the copy work and the ads, the social media posters we've posted with Mythos of War, Sophia, and some of our others, Mags, specifically my work, Mags is always helps out with that kind of stuff. So especially if you have your own channel or you got your own things going on and you need some creative needs, want to spruce some stuff up, the rates are great and the work is impeccable. And Bastion alluded to something else I want to hit on real quick before we get started, which is that this is something we do and we love, and it's a great community, and all these players, every single one of these players I met in the Discord and became friends with and have been able to join this through joining that community. And I know that word tends to be overused a bit, but we really do have something cool going on in our Discord and in our little community. There's a lot of different creators, a lot of different people making stuff, a lot of connections being made. So in addition to please following, liking, subscribing, and turning notifications on in YouTube as well as social media, if you want to get into the Discord and spend some time with creative like minds, it's a great place for you. I think that is all our rebusiness. Oh, all those links as well you can find below, as well as the artist. She did incredible work. It's good stuff. I hope you've enjoyed it. Setting the scene. Flynn, you have just entered the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
As you are entering, you can hear, as they are sort of breaking the tree line, go ahead and give me a listen roll.
Okay. Success.
Perfect. You hear well over a dozen, like somewhere between 10 to 15, maybe 20-ish soldiers. Their boots sloshing through the snow, sound of the clips on their rifles and bags clattering.
How far away do they sound?
The tree line is cleared out about 200 yards
Okay.
away from the cabin, which is around somewhere around the 150 mark is where Alethea and Ricardo are standing.
Okay.
Roughly 4 feet apart, while Ricardo points a gun at Alethea.
But I don't know that. So I'm gonna run and find Andres first.
We are actually going to start with Alethea,
Okay.
because this is a bit of a lot of the outcome of the next events is going to be determined by what's going to happen. Alethea, you have known Ricardo truly all of your memorable life. Grew up in the same village when you were too small and didn't quite have the quickness or the wit yet. But Ricardo was often the one who stepped in as your protector. He always believed in you, and from the evening that your abuela lost her life, there's been no one else closer to you. And in fact, his support has meant everything. And you probably would not have recovered in the same fashion without him by your side. And yet still remains a man convinced that that what is necessary to defeat the evils that pervade his country and this continent and the world at large is an acceleration of their power and their destruction. And that will be the only thing that causes us to rise up. What is going through Alethea's mind?
Not a bullet yet. But
Not yet.
She is stunned, but not surprised. She is pretty confident that Ricardo doesn't actually want to kill her because he's not dramatic. He wouldn't pause and hold her at gunpoint. He'd just kill her if that was his intention. His intention, in her mind, is to convince her to join him and that he's right, get her on his side. She's also very quickly trying to do the mental calculations of how many bullets do I have and how many Nazis do I think I can kill with those bullets, and is this a lost cause, right? I'm not going to go back to the house if I'm just going to get captured, right? So is my best chance of survival here? Do I think I can gun down these Nazis? Do I need to play things up with Ricardo and try and get on his side?
Give me a psychology check. And then after that, give me an idea roll.
All right.
And you can roll both of these at advantage because you know Ricardo so well.
Okay. Success on the psychology. And success on the end. Both more normal successes.
I would say two things. We're in bullet time. We are in a snapshot right now.
Yeah.
Your success leads you to believe this is the look Ricardo does. Ricardo goes to a dark place at times. And it has always been for the benefit of the mission, and it had always been in some ways at your beck and call. But you've seen this look before. You are certain that the only reason he hasn't shot you yet is the pause of the connection you've made. Because your idea roll would tell you that, as he just said, if you won't be the leader that they need in life, you can be the martyr that they need in death. And if you escape, right, that can go back to him. and then you have infighting, you have these things. So you believe that essentially your friendship with Ricardo has given you one action. Bastion, you have one roll. I will let you pick the roll. You can use a persuade as fast talk or something like that. You can use a shoot. You can use a magic. You can tap into the quiet passenger, the ancient, the Suldumu that Alethea so fervently does not appreciate. You can try to fight. You can try to beat him in an initiative roll and take your risk of wresting the gun away. There are many options.
I think
if you would like, we can jump into the cabin for just a second to give you some time to think, or we can roll straight through.
I think I am going to do an occult roll, and Alethea is kind of at her wit's end here, because she really does want to just survive and get out. But Flynn is back there. The hag is back there. What she views as her greatest asset is in that cabin about to be captured by Nazis.
Yeah,
so
the greatest asset is in the cabin, and your greatest tool that you don't have is in the lab. So even if the money doesn't come.
So she's going to reach inside to that Soldomu, and I do not know what you are capable of, but Flynn believes in you. Cricket needs you. Please show me what you can do.
I'll always protect my friends. Bastion, give me this roll at an advantage, and you regain the points that you lost earlier.
Oh my god.
Thank God for that advantage. from a 99 to a 9, that is an exquisite success.
Excellent.
And
I have literal chills right now. I want to be clear. There was an outside chance Alethea just dies. It was very small. It would have required a fumble, a 99, and the wrong roll. However, the only roll you would have got advantage on is the occult, and specifically tapping into the Soldoom.
And I think Alethea, as she has that exchange internally, is going to look at Ricardo and just shake her head. This is why you always needed me. You could not see past the end of your own gun.
Give me, and as Alethea says this, and sort of does a sort of spiritual trust fall, right? Falling into the arms of this thing, sort of subconsciously, and I think even maybe physically, Alethea closes her eyes and waits for this act to happen. As you close your eyes, give me one more listen roll. As you start to hear the slosh of the boots pick up.
That is a fail.
It's unfortunate, because what you don't hear before you hear Ricardo cry out for just 1 second is the sound of 2 Pyrenees mountain dogs silently jumping through the snow as one bites down on Ricardo's wrist holding the gun. And as he goes to let out a cry of pain, the other pounces on his chest and rips his throat out. And as you open your eyes, there are 2 dogs, healed. Not healed medically, but healed, waiting for your orders. And give me an occult roll.
That is an exquisite success.
You feel a deep and profound connection to these dogs. These are not, you don't know what the word is. You don't know what the feeling, like you don't know what the explanation is, but these are not normal dogs. These are some vestige of whatever ancient order. You go back to that memory of the dog with the hag. You now on every turn you command these two animals. They do 2d4 damage plus 3, and their roll is a 65. They also have double movement, and they can dodge bullets. What does Alethea do?
I think she is going to hesitate. I think that I would pitch it back to the cabin for a second.
Okay. I think as you sort of get down, you see the dogs begin to pull Ricardo away out of the tree line. One of the others covers the blood. And one of them lays their body almost completely on Ricardo and becomes camouflaged.
Yeah. And Alethea,
and the other stands next to you, essentially indicating if you would like, they would provide you the same.
Yeah. I think that's a really good offer. Alethea's instinct is to go to the tree line. But she
you're right there, because you guys remember you were shooting. I said you from the cabin. Essentially, you set up a really far target to the tree line, and
I think
so you're right there.
But getting that offer, she's going to take it because she doesn't know where the Nazis are. She wants them on this side of the tree line before she goes to hide and start shooting.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go back into the cabin. Flynn, you open the door. Again, you think you have, it's 200 yards. They're in full equipment. Who knows how long they've been marching. Give me an idea roll.
Fail, but not by a ton.
You think at best you think at most you have a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna find Andres.
Yes. He's in the kitchen.
Andres.
Clinton, this stew's not ready yet.
There are people coming. We need to get everyone downstairs. Do you have a basement?
No, he has the rooms that the others are staying in are secret. They're behind behind a bookcase, I think it was, and can't remember the other thing.
Okay.
That's what he has.
Someone's coming. We have maybe a minute. Killian and Charity and I'm forgetting the boy's name, but everyone needs to get somewhere safe.
Oh, yes, of course. And he goes to usher the people in and locks them in. I think first there's a question of, well, how much time do we have? Because I can just escape to the sea, right? And when you explain, there's not enough. His idea was if they are farther out, he could have just made a run for it, kind of thing, meeting at the spot wherever the smugglers are going to meet them. Once he understands that, he gets them in there, and I am going to now... you now have one more thing you can do. I will say that Rosalia and Elliot hear that. The fighting immediately stops upon Flynn coming in and stating that.
Yeah.
Everybody now has one more roll they can make to prepare.
In that case, I'm gonna go back out to Alethea.
As you go out and go about 10 feet, the German soldiers break the tree line.
Okay.
Rosalia and Elliot, what do you do?
Okay.
Shit. I'm really trying to think here.
That's a bad idea.
You give me a spot hidden. Sorry, Flynn. Give me a spot.
Me?
Yes, as you come out.
Yeah, do I know that I've been seen immediately? Because if I see them right away, I'm
100% they see you.
Fuck. Okay, that was such a bad idea. Why did I do
Yeah,
that?
you got about 10 feet, and they just broke the tree line.
Okay, 3.
Let me roll just to make sure. Just to do the due diligence.
God, why did I go back outside? That's like the last thing you do. God damn it.
Hey, Flynn's not a soldier. I mean,
Yeah.
You don't see it. You feel it. If you closed your eyes, you could locate where Alethea and these 2 dogs are.
Okay.
That's what a 3 gets you.
Okay, but I've been spotted.
Yes. With your eyes providing disinformation, you feel less confident. You know where they're at. And that is why that's why you sort of stop and don't think about the fact that the Nazis essentially just you walked into the jaw of the trap.
Why did I do that? Okay. Can I? How many can I see currently?
We are going to resolve what Rosalia and Elliot do, and then
Yes.
we'll go back.
Okay, sorry.
And then things will start happening.
Okay.
But I want to give these 2 a chance to do what they want.
Yes.
It's up to you whether you want to go first.
I was just thinking Elliot kind of hides off a little bit and cautiously loads his handgun just so he can get like a decent vantage point in case any of them try to get closer.
Andres looks at you as you load your handgun and says, what do we do? Are we fighting?
Don't fight unless they start first. If we expose those hidden in the back, we're fucked.
And not just them, but many more.
Yeah. I'm not going down without a fight, Andres.
Okay. Rosalia.
I'm going to roll a persuasion roll for the group to get captured because it's going to take us to the lab.
Rosalia would like to go out and surrender.
Yeah. And I would like... It's going to take us to the lab.
Yeah, give me an idea roll.
Okay. That is a regular success.
I will say I don't... there's no time to necessarily persuade, but you can essentially erase all options if you just walk out with your hands up. You walk out and with the surrender, with your hands up, there's the reality of the situation, 30% of your fighting force being down. You just saw Flynn, you're not sure why, maybe he had the same idea, walk out of the door. Essentially, if Elliot, as you saw him load his gun, a look between the 2 of you passed as you walk out the door.
I want to, if I can say something.
Yeah, if you want to say something in this moment as you guys share a look.
I'm going to look at, Flynn and Elliot and say...
So we'll say you're at the threshold of the door. Elliot is crouched right beside it. He thinks you're going to go take the opposite side. And as you go to open it, you're standing and you see Flynn with a look of shock and terror on his face, stuck between you and this fighting force. And Elliot is just to the left of you at this door jam.
We are not going to survive if we fight. They will take us to the lab. And then walk out with my hands up.
What's going through Elliot's mind as this cold wind from outside whips through and chills his neck?
I think he's a little bit confused about what Rosalia's doing, because she's always kind of stood for like fighting till the end and like sticking up for your morals and stuff like that. And he sees her just like giving up and giving in, and like he still wants to fight. He still wants to. He's still out here for blood, trying to fight for what remains of Charlie's legacy, what will remain of his own legacy when he dies. And she's right. Like, if they surrender now, they'll go to the lab. But he's also unsure if that's. He's stuck at a crossroads, because on the one hand, like, getting the book is critical, getting the book is necessary, and if that's their best course to get to the book, then that's that. But that also means giving in and surrendering and being a coward, and that's the last thing he wants to do.
Okay. Top of the round. There is Flynn and Rosalia. I will say that Alethea, you don't have line of sight, so you can't count right now. In a second, I'll give you the opportunity, though. But Flynn and Elliot, give me spot hidden.
Fail.
Would I be able to roll this spot hidden?
Oh, sorry, Rosalia. Yes, as well. I apologize.
Okay. Just curious.
Regular success.
Ooh, that is a the half success. I can't remember
Hard.
what it's
Hard
success.
Hard success. You got a hard
Yeah, my bad.
success?
Yes.
Okay. Rosalia. Flynn, you count 20 soldiers. Rosalia, you count 20 individuals. But these are not all soldiers. They are all uniform, and they all have gear. But it looks like they've expended, you put together, they've probably expended a lot of their manpower resources for such a small lab, right? There's been roughly 20 people already killed, German soldiers killed on your way here. These may be like nerds or janitorial or administrative or officers. These are not soldiers. These are 20 individuals with guns. Still very dangerous. That's what you see. Who wants to go first?
Could I make argue for a persuasion roll to tell this group of people that I'm surrendering and they don't need to use their guns?
You can, and I will say that if they see Elliot come out with a gun pointed, or even with a gun in his hand, they're going to open fire. So you can do that, and it'll work, but if a show of force is shown, it's going to undo it.
I'm going to shout that loudly, hoping that Elliot can hear it.
No persuasion roll necessary. They say they see that you clearly don't have anything on you. Flynn, do you have your weapon like holstered or?
Probably holstered. Yeah.
Okay. They respond, "Put down the gun."
Yeah. And as I'm like reaching for it, I'm looking at Rosalia. Like, is this really what we're doing? And I'm just gonna like slowly like.
Flynn goes, takes the pinky to pull out. Throw. We'll say.
Can I?
A few feet away.
Can I argue that I'm putting down my rifle and that my pistol is still hidden somewhere on me?
We'll do 2 rolls. We'll do a luck check. Yeah, we'll just do a luck check actually.
Okay.
To see if you have a smaller pistol or something hidden.
Why is luck the one I can never fucking find? There it is. Okay.
It's at the top.
That's why I always forget that. Success.
Okay. We'll say that you had the forethought to have a little gun, and that they don't know you have a smaller gun, maybe tucked into your waistband or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you take the bigger piece that's clearly like in a holster, right? The 40 cal, and you throw the rifle off your shoulder, hands up. Okay.
And could I also, if I feel where Alethea is, do I feel like could I try to like mentally speak to her?
You can certainly try. Give me an occult roll.
Oh, okay. I'm very good at that now. Success.
Okay, you feel two things in this moment, right? You feel that so the last few days you spent here have been not necessarily panic, right? They've been more restful, recovery. There hasn't been much stress. As your heart rate begins to rise, as the bile rises in the back of your throat, and your pupils narrow, and your battle sense generations of fight or flight, right, kick in. You tap into and you realize that your connection to the Stoldumu is stronger than it's ever been in this moment. That there is something about this place. That it is like some sort of concentration of these forces, right? There is you remember from one lecture of Dr. Elliot Fowler that that it was believed that a lot of these ritual places, like the pyramid in Mesoamerica, pyramids in Giza, the Pantheon in Greece, all these places, that the significance of the events that have taken place there, it is believed had a exponential and a sort of like layered effect on the area. And that was the reason that these became ritual spots. That our power to the ethereal, our connection to the ethereal and our connection to these other powers was stronger in these locations. And you know now, in your heart and mind, that that is not a myth and that is not a legend, and that this is one of those places. And you feel a connection to Alethea just out of your reach. And it is that power in this area that helps you push through and make that connection. You have essentially a message now. You got about something quick you can get out.
Oh, God. Alethea, I don't know if we're doing the right thing. I hope we are. You're my best friend.
You can respond, Alethea, if you like. And then take your...
And you are now my best friend, Kriget. If I could shoot Rosalia right now, I would. I do not believe that surrender is the answer.
Can I respond back?
Nope. What do you do, Alethea?
Alethea has got to wait if she, until the Germans are past her, essentially, before.
They are past you now. I will say with their movement, they're not very far past you. They are maybe only, I'll say they're moving 50 feet-ish around right now. So they're maybe 40-ish feet away from you, because you're also sort of off to the side. Mm-hmm. They have made a big semicircle, and between the dogs and whatever, right, they sort of, you caught the very end of that crescent. So very weirdly, two of them passed between you. They have the cabin essentially in almost a half circle, right? and two of them walked right past these dogs. It's very much, think of those videos, right, of like huskies covered in snow, and then they move, and that happened quickly.
Yeah.
Almost as if it was magic.
Weird. Alethea does want to shoot Rosalia, but won't.
Good.
It takes every fiber of her being. She is basically waiting for commotion now for her to get to the tree line and start shooting and sicking these dogs. But if these three are just gonna surrender, Alethea is gonna stay put.
Yeah, give me an idea roll.
That is a failure.
Okay. It occurs to you, sort of as you chamber around, we'll say, underneath this dog, there may be more wisdom in what Rosalia is doing, but only by accident. Because if you were able to follow behind,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a false sense of victory or security, there's a chance you can do something like that. But that would also be on their home territory, so maybe that's like not a good idea. And this is like a wide open field, and if there was ever a good time, you know what I mean? So there's a lot going through your mind right now, and
but Alethea is utterly unwilling to be a prisoner of war. Exactly,
100%. So I think it's clear Alethea themselves is not going to.
Yeah. If fighting starts, she'll chip in and help. If fighting doesn't start, she's going to stay hidden. Follow behind.
Beautiful boy. Elliot, you have no idea any of this is going on. You see your oldest friend in the world, with her hands up in the air, her hair slightly blowing as these mountain winds whip, still beautiful and thick as ever, even as she approaches 40. Her large silhouette casting a shadow across the snow, almost looking like a sundial. Flynn is somewhere between you and Rosalia, somewhat dumbfounded, looking, maybe not dumbfounded, surprised by by what has transpired. You feel confliction. You feel anger. And I think there's like a sense of loss. As between the fight that just happened and seeing what happened with Rosalia settles in. What does Elliot do?
I want to make an idea roll.
Give me an idea roll.
To really see if following Rosalia is the best path, because I think, like Alethea, Elliot doesn't want to admit defeat, and Elliot certainly doesn't want to get taken capture, but getting those books out of the lab is the top priority to Elliot right now. Okay, that's a regular success.
So if you fight, you are outnumbered. From what you can see, if Rosalia just lays down if you start shooting, Rosalia is in the middle. Mm-hmm. She will almost certainly die. Without any doubt. And most likely Flynn as well. There's no cover. There's no nothing. Additionally, if a full firefight comes out here, there's a decent chance if you surrender, the people hiding in those small rooms get away. A good chance. They get what they want. Andres plays it up. I didn't know. I just took wary travelers in. I've had this cabin forever. Maybe he gets roughed up. Maybe he's told to clear out. Worst case, he's killed on the spot and they don't find. They are not here to look for
Them.
refugees. They're here to look for you guys. So you think surrendering would both is one, Rosalia's right, is the fastest path to the lab. Because if you win, there's one, almost a certainty Rosalia dies. No weapon, middle of the snow. Very good chance Flynn dies. At the very least, very hurt. And then lastly, you still have no idea where the lab is. If you survive. And then you still have to overcome whatever obstacles are there. If you surrender, you essentially guarantee the survival of the people in the rooms. And you you eliminate any chance for Rosalia essentially to die right now.
Elliot puts his pistol on the ground, gets up from his like crouching position. He's gonna fumble through his like pocket, his like jacket pocket that probably Dan Darling gave to him after he like their exchange, so he could like blend in a little bit more to the surroundings. And he looks for the pocket watch that he and Charlie exchanged all those years ago. Grips it a little tighter. Starts to tear up a little bit and kisses it. And he walks out of the cabin with his arms up, with his hands up.
Andres, as you put your gun down and walk out with your hands up, gives you a knowing nod. Bastion, does Alethea watch this transpire?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into some narration about what happened next. And then we will get to some rolls. Is there any last bits of communication or signals or whatever you want to get out before you begin to be sort of physically apprehended?
Like as we're being dragged?
Yeah, they're still closing in on you. They're closing in kind of slow because they're looking for Alethea probably, right? They know who's supposed to be here. So they're looking for Alethea, and they're probably looking for whoever. And they think maybe you hear that shouted out in German, Elliot, and broken English, Elliot and Flynn, right? Which is like, where are the others? Come out with your hands up.
Then maybe I can say the thing to Flynn while we're like hands up and they're far away.
I think this is a perfect time right now.
That would be the perfect time. That would be the perfect time.
Yeah.
So.
At this point, Andres comes out and he's communicating with the German in a very in like a broken German. Or first he tries French. Anybody can give me. I'll just give it to you. You understand that he tries French first, thinking to throw them off the set, right? That like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and then explains that there was only these three. He found weary travelers. One was injured. That was it. That's all he knows. And you begin to see them close in on him. And what does Rosalia say to Flynn?
Rosalia knows what she's going into. So she's gonna turn to Flynn and say, I might die, but if Elsie gets out and you get out, please tell her she was right. The Montague name is cursed, and it should die with me. Do not let her continue to be a Montague. Tell her, get rid of everything. End Montague Industries. Sell everything. Make sure things are distributed. But let me die the last Montague, and the curse could end.
You'll be able to tell her all that yourself.
And as you say that, you are roughly grabbed by the collar, thrown face first into the snow. Your first, your gun is removed. You are roughly searched. They remove your guns, any knives, as well as personal effects. Charlie's locket, or Charlie's stopwatch, the locket with Dutch's picture, any personal effects Flynn has are removed. You are marched for what feels like days, but really is a few hours. And as you guys were sort of at the base of the summit, this is kind of where you are, right? This is where the trees, the forest part sort of stops, and that's the altitude and the temperature and these other factors choke life out up here. There's not much that makes it. And you feel that in every step. Every step, the cold turns to numbness, turns to pain, as the sinking in your head and your heart is weighed down. And just as you think there's not much more you can make, and there's not many more steps you could take in front of you, as you've never had really the proper gear to come through here, and it really is starting to feel it now. As that happens, you see the lab, and it is made up of 3 separate, what looks like a big fenced-in area, a low fence, no barbed wire, nothing crazy, or at least not anything that looks like it's meant to keep stuff out. It looks like a place meant to keep things in. And as you reach this false summit, and there's this surrounding fence area with the barbed wire and the barriers on the inside, they lead you through the gate, and you step down into what looks like there's the 3 facilities. There's 3 facilities. There's one above. There's a small bridge because there's a huge crevice. It is built around this huge crevice. And Flynn, give me an occult roll.
Ooh, 9.
We're close. We're so close.
Can I mentally respond to her?
Yep.
Please, whatever help you can give me, and we can both get what we want.
Well, first of all, welcome to my home. And second of all, you need to get in there. It's where my seed is. Join me, and I will give you all the power you could need to defeat your enemies.
I'm not sure I follow.
All will be made clear soon. And as you were led past that, again, there's a small, I guess you would call it a bridge, right? Over this like sort of crevice, this what looks like almost like like in the Arctic where cracks form in like these like big glacial hollows. It looks like that happened to stone, and this is like sort of this like weird cave, kind of thing in like just in the mountain. And you have no real idea, the 3 of you, But you know how sometimes you can look at a hole and by how dark it is, you just know that that motherfucker goes so deep. No need to throw anything in it, right? So in there is that, and sort of built, into it. You see the sort of main portion of this lab, which is a large, quickly built building that it doesn't look like it's made of like super solid material, right? This is the kind of thing that military outposts do. They bring the minimum amount of supplies, the lightest supplies, and they build up these temporary structures. There's no like laid power here, so it's all generators and it's all. So you know that this operation is extremely expensive as well. That's another thing that like immediately clicks in your mind. But also that they don't necessarily like power is limited here, electrical power, and there's no water, there's no whatever. And then so on the front you see the lab, and to the left what looks like a nicer set of buildings, and to the right what looks closer to a barn. And that is where you guys go. Two of you. Flynn and Rosalia, you were led right. You're pulled into this large barn area. Your heads are shaved. You are deloused. And you are given prisoners' garments. You are cavity searched and questioned about the whereabouts of Alethea. But luckily, you don't truly know. So even under the pain of what happens, there's not a real answer you can give. And there's a moment through that torture that you realize if you did know the answer, you would give it up to stop what's happening, because it's an incredible amount of pain. And as you are led away after a couple of hours, Rosalia, for the first time in over a year, you see Dickie next to Elsie, both heads shaved, both wearing the same garments, huddled, crying, glad to see their mom. We'll come back to that scene in a moment. Elliot, you are led left. You see pretty immediately that this is one half of this is the barracks for soldiers, lab techs, etc. And the other half of this very small building is the officers' quarters. And you were led that way. And you were led to a very small room, maybe 5 by 7, just big enough to fit a twin-size bed, a little smaller than that even, more of a military cot with a little bit of cushion, a small desk, and a light, overhead light. And you were led to the room, and on the desk, underneath the light of the lamp, is a book that you haven't laid eyes on since you put it in a safe 18 years ago. What does Elliot do?
I think being in like extremely close proximity to the book for like the first time in weeks, his hand is absolutely burning. And I think in this instant, like, he has no choice but to put his hands on it and try to grab it.
Give me, the moment you put your hands on the book, give me an occult roll.
That's a failure.
Where do you touch the book?
he puts his whole like left hand where the scar is, like right on the cover.
You feel the clasp that I described as a like almost like a slip. It looks something like a mouth. You feel that open, and the tooth-like portion that is the clasp underneath shoot towards the blood it is familiar with, as it takes its offering and plops open. Would you like to give me an occult roll?
Yeah. Okay, that's a regular success.
Okay, there's a huge amount of information you're going to get, so we're going to come back to you in just a moment.
Okay.
Flynn. As you are... Actually, we're going to go back to Rosalia. Rosalia. You are seeing this happen. You are seeing Rosalia reunited with her children. Rosalia, Tom looks in an incredibly rough shape.
Dickie.
Sorry, Dickie.
Tom?
Oh my God, Tom. Tom's on the mind. Sorry. Rosalia, Dickie is in incredibly rough shape. He looks like very emaciated. As you would imagine, there's probably not a lot of food he's getting or water. And as anybody who's lived in one of these climates knows, you actually burn more calories trying to keep your body warm than you do trying to cool it down. And it looks like he's had a very hard time. The tips of his toes are black, as well as two of his fingers. It looks like he has cuts and bruises on his face, a broken nose. There's some sort of broken collarbone or dislocated shoulder on his left side. And even these raggedy prison garments hang very loose. Your daughter, Elsie, having only been here a few days, does not quite look as in rough a shape, but is as tough as your daughter is. No one is built for this. And you see the pain behind her eyes from the time that she spent here. And no, in this moment, no matter what happens, her life will never be the same. Mother! And she falls into your arms.
I hug
baby,
so tight.
For the first time in maybe 3 or 4 days, but maybe only the second time in a long time, Dickie cracks a smile and says, "Well, you're stupid enough to get caught too, huh?"
I am going to go over to Dickie and just press my face against his, crying.
Puts his forehead on yours. It's all right.
No, it's not. This was all my fault. I should have protected you.
Sometimes safety and protection isn't worth staying out of the fight.
I'm so proud of you and your sister. I'm so proud of both of you. But you don't deserve this. And I will get you out.
Give me a psychology roll.
Okay. I have nice psychology. That is a hard success.
Your son, not your biological son, but this now man that you loved since he was a boy, that you've provided for, that you've cared for, that you've bled for, you've cried for, is a man now. And looks you in the eye and he says this, he doesn't believe a second of it. He says, "I know you will, Mom. I know you'll take care of it." this moment,
Oh,
Flynn, give me a spot hidden. The way that this area works is the other half of this barn, one half of the barn is the processing and questioning area. It is, and it is like an industrial style. I keep saying barn, but it's not like wood and hay, but it is a large open area, like not necessarily vaulted ceilings, but they're higher than normal. And it is essentially part like not. There's only one real wall. Maybe two. Sorry, there's two walls because there's the one half that's the processing that is where you were sprayed down and deloused and all that, and shaven and cavity searched, and then there's a questioning room slightly adjacent to it, and then you break through a large wall that essentially cuts it into like 2/3, and then 2/3 is just a series of cages, and you guys were deposited in one of these towards the far end. You were in the back corner. And give me a spot hidden, Flynn.
Yeah. Is this a role that you would say would be worth pushing?
No.
Okay, then I failed, but not by an insane amount.
Flynn, somebody that looks like another prisoner has come in, and he's all the way at the far end, and it looks like he's emptying the shit buckets. And you see that, and you see the guard that let him in sort of like shoved him in with his bucket. He has like a bigger one. He's like clearly not necessarily strong enough to carry this. You see that there are windows in this room that are open because it smells disgusting. It smells like feces. It smells like disease. It smells like rot of flesh and of food. It smells like death. And so you see the windows open up top. As well, you can see because of the windows that these walls are very, very thin. They're like a sheet metal kind of thing. You put together that you think like, oh, wow, it would be like not that hard to break through these or like bend it and get underneath. And then you're reminded that the only place to go is miles and miles of snow. And that the prison doesn't have the environment is the prison. What is going through Flynn's mind as he sees this reunion and takes in these surroundings?
Seeing Rosalia hug her children, he just all of a sudden like misses his own parents so much. And he's like purposely tried not to think too hard about them this whole time, and now it's just hitting him. And this whole time, like no one ever stays. Everyone leaves. The friends I had in school were either using me because I was smart or got jealous because I was smart. Aaron left. Flynn has never really like asked for anyone when they were huddling for warmth. Linda said, I don't want to be alone. And Flynn was willing to reciprocate that. He hasn't had a very selfish thought in a long time. And seeing Rosalia hug her kids, he just wants someone to hold him right now.
I'm really sorry for what's about to happen.
That's okay.
As you absorb these thoughts and process these feelings, you hear your name called by a voice that part of you never wanted to hear call your name again.
Yep.
And in a shaky, broken, none of the life, none of the vigor, none of the anger. Now that it's missing, you feel it's present, like an impression. There's always a tone of anger, resentment in Aaron's voice, and it's gone. and the hollow shell of your brother once again calls out to you. Flynn, what are you doing here?
What side of the bars is he on?
He is the one who was sent in to clean up the ship.
The guard?
He is not a guard. He's wearing prisoner garb. We're going to go to Alethea.
Oh,
Alethea, because you made what the god in this world, me, determined was the right choice, and you rolled a exquisite success, as we are calling it now, in this homebrew bastardization of Call of Duty. You don't have to actually roll to find the lab. You will get there. It's going to take you. This roll is just going to determine how far you fall off. It is not a path you're familiar with, and you got to kind of hide. And so this gives us an idea of the logistics of how long it takes you to sort of catch up, as well as get a. And then the second roll is going to give you an idea of how well you can sort of scout it out. We'll have some cool shit when we get there.
I think.
So go ahead and give me first a survival or nature.
Natural world.
Natural world.
Yeah. And I think for story's sake that Alethea goes and gets any rations that she can find, things that were left behind, and make sure that the family that was in the house
Andres, we'll say you took a cool 15. Andres got roughed up a little bit. He got beat up. They threw around shit in the cabin, but they
didn't take him. Okay.
Yeah, they were not looking for anything. They didn't find any contraband. He had a hunting rifle, not like a military rifle. So he got beat up a little bit, but they essentially said, clear out, or the next time we come through here, you're done.
Gotcha. If Andreas is there, then he can handle
exactly
actual breathing path, and Alethea just focuses.
And he does that, and he puts a hand on your shoulder and says, Mija, whatever you choose, go with God. And never has words felt more empty to you as you head out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That is a success on natural world.
Okay, yeah, we'll say then that you pace yourself about 30 to 45 minutes out. So you're just a little bit farther behind, sort of following the trail. And we'll give you now, let's give a spot hidden. Give me a spot hidden, and this will determine sort of how long it takes you and the level of intel you can kind of gather from your search, your perimeter search.
This is one of the 3 things I'm good at. Hard success.
Perfect. So you don't get everything, but you get a lot. You, through use of this newfound connection, that feeling this is an all-day trip. You have been moving all day. The sun is down now. All of that stuff happened very early in the morning, somewhere around 9 or 10ish, right? Sun was high early, and it is now just about set. There's some warmth, but darkness is starting to fall. The warmth and light, sorry, not necessarily temperature, just to be clear. In fact, temperature up here is significantly worse. You are like a couple hours from the summit. So the winds, again, particularly up here, are vicious. It is loud. It is whipping. And you realize that gives you an incredible advantage because your compadres and yourself are particularly silent and stealthy. When I say compadres, I of course mean your 2 dogs.
Yeah.
You also put together that the large large square building, temporary building, is where Flynn is, and you feel his presence in the southwest corner of that. Southeast corner of that. It's bottom right. It's a long, like a log style, like length rectangle, and he is in the bottom right, where sort of where the perimeter of the fence is. And then on the left side is where I said you put together, as after seeing people walk in and out, that is where the lab is. And you put together, I will say that of the 20 people, the 20 soldiers that came, you think about 8 of them are actually soldiers, and the rest are administrative or lab people, because you've seen them change and now go into the third building where they are not in like soldier regalia. They are in like they're going to go work in a lab. And that's the building where it has multiple generators. There is like a lot going on there. It looks like much more permanent, or if not necessarily permanent, like more, there's more going on. So much to the effect that like the entrance to this building is a oh my god, what are they called? I looked this up too. The like cleaning room, right, where you like have you come in and then you get like and then you go through, you get sanitized or whatever. And so yeah, that's that. 20. Oh yeah, you think at most there's about 25 people here. There's one person that you've seen walk through that is 25 German military personnel. That's it. And then and one of them is an SS officer. You recognize the uniform. Well, so I should say there's multiple SS officers. There's one SS commanding officer. This is a very important person. You could strike a huge blow to a lot of stuff that you feel. This is and you also realize like how important this place is. And then the last thing you feel is this is it. Like this is the center of power for these mountains. Right? There has been for eons, generations, going back, right? Basque is an isolate language. It is something that sort of predates most cultures. It is one of the, like, mountains act as a vestige, as a reminder of the people we were even before society, because society depends on staying in a place and cultivating it and sort of shaping the will of the land to serve us, right? And mountains do not yield. They allow you to operate, to live harmoniously in their environment, or they do not allow you to live. And so you see and you feel that connection, it's not separate. These things are tied together. These forces of nature and magic and whatever is all, your abuelo's right. She didn't know it all, but she knew enough. And if you want, you can give me one more occult roll.
You got it. That is a hard success.
So first of all, one more thing, sorry, from the intel, you can assume that the book is going to be either in that commanding officer's room or the lab. And there's 2 books, so maybe one's in one, maybe they're both in there, maybe, you know what I mean? But those are your inclinations. And then the last thing you feel is the lab that is above this crevice, that, like, in that crevice, that is the center. That is... The books are important. You should get the books and get out. What Alethea is looking for is in that hole. And we'll give you some time to think, and we are going to jump back to Flynn and Rosalia very quickly. Or actually, sorry, we're going to go to Elliot. Elliot, what you see the book open in front of you. You are a whole different man now. The last time you opened this book was a mad dash and to find the answers There was no real. There was some. You remember some of the stuff you saw, right? Some of these like pictures of the Antarctic. Some of these other like myths and legends represented in this. Some other nothing that looked like a sort of like what was described from what Captain Reed and Gunther and them were trying to do, right? It was a lot more representative of nature, a lot more representative of like natural cycles. There is a lot of death in it, right? But it is as a way of like service of rebirth, right? And it is like, and now as you like open this book and you see it just like cursory glancing the pages, you see a lot of words in these isolate languages like Basque, like Korean, like some of the like Aboriginal languages of Australia. That these collections and these things are. You see a lot of words like harmony, like death, like time, erosion, growth, rebuilt, etc. What is Eliot looking for? This tome you have the feeling that this tome holds more knowledge than any other book in the world. What is Eliot looking for?
I'm looking to see if this book looks like it has previously been opened, rummaged through, and seeing if there's any like specific markings that could lead me to. Ooh. Basically, I'm trying to look for like if there's any indicate pages that can lead me to what these people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That just barely succeeds.
Without even really needing to try too hard, the book almost immediately opens up to the last page it was open to when you opened it. The ritual
to the Watcher.
You, the Watcher, which again, you know now with your breadth of experience, what Callum named the Watcher in his book series is called Suldumu. The other thing you see through your glance of this book is that Suldumu is a race of ancient people that populated you could see this sort of through the hieroglyphs, right? That sort of populated the earth. And that's the first portion of this book, as you like sort of flip back to the beginning. You see these Watchers, and they all have the different shapes. There's the one that Callum turned into. There's other ones that you see represent other cryptids or mythics, right? Which is our mythical beings, which is like you see like one that looks something like a Yeti. You see one that looks eerily similar to like an Oni from Japanese mythology. You see a dragon, right? A large, and so it looks like these like what you can piece together with a just a success, and we'll call it like an hour or two of sort of going through this and trying to recognize these like ancient versions of languages that you've maybe are only cursory familiar with, and you're trying to like piece together, right, a lot of this stuff. You see that this like race of people sort of created a cycle of life on Earth, and then and it shows this history of this happening in harmony, and then you see something like that looks like almost like a meteor or something crashing into a representation of Earth, and then you see monsters. You see perverted versions of these things, things with like tentacles where they shouldn't be, or like the it's like spikes, like right, like Callum's Watcher, Suldumu, his ancient was one that had like something like antlers, and this was where, and like there's like a mirror reverse version, this like inverted perversion of it that's like all antlered, and it's right, it's the difference between and you see a lot of words like stagnation, preservation, corruption, sort of these like opposite forces, and you see this like war depicted, and you see sealed away some of these like larger forces, these big things, and like that's what you put together from what happened, right? And in this book is not those rituals. but it is the history of that, and that is at the beginning. But the page that it opened up to, Elliot's suspicion is right. But you put together, give me an idea roll.
That's a hard success.
Incredible. Elliot can deduce that they think it's all the same. But you see on different pages, there's slight different Elliot's ancient, Callum's ancient that Elliot conducted the ritual on years ago was Gaelic, right? Was or Irish, sorry, like an ancient form of Irish. Which was luckily Marjorie spoke and read and was fluent in. And so you can see that you can deduce that it looks like they're trying to run this ritual, but it's the wrong one. Because as you go through these pages, there are different ones where these like it's almost like these are the survivors of that war. And some great act of magic was like some form of sacrifice. They gave up their like sort of eternal bodies for a way to transfer like vessel to vessel. So each one has a different process, and they are essentially using the wrong one. With a hard success, I'll give you that you have a strong suspicion, and if this was your experiment, would try the one of the witch of the mountain, is what it's called in Basque. You find one central to the region. And Elliot also puts together something that, if circumstances weren't so terrible, would give him a chuckle, which is the fault of these fascists, the fault of these racists, is that they didn't even consider cultural differences in their approach, right?
Fucking idiots.
To them, it's all the same. And the combination of hatred and hubris seems to be their down. And you see depicted in this one, right? Again, this is like, it's all like, kind of like, think like ancient cave painting style pictographs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see a tall, elegant looking witch with a staff, and a dog next to it. It's her familiar.
Okay.
And you can put together that this witch is familiar. It's not a black cat, but a white dog.
Interesting.
As you are coming to these conclusions, your door opens. Dr. Fowler, pleasure you could join us. And standing in front of you is a man in an SS uniform with an iron cross. And from there, we will now jump back to Rosalia and Flynn. Last thing, Rosalia, you see this other prisoner who looks remarkably like Flynn, a slight bit taller. And they are staring at each other. And the next thing they say is what, Flynn?
He said, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Trying to clean up some of your mess.
In your mind, Flynn hears, "But we are going to make a mess, dearie."
Oh, I know.
What is mine?
I know. Just hold on.
And you hear what can only be called a purr emanate deep in what would be the throat of this voice in your mind.
Are we in separate cells?
No, the cells are open. They're not like,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
they're not like full cells, right? That's what I was saying you put together. That like the security, the physical security of like cells and bricks and whatever, right, is very low because they're like, go run for it. Sure.
Yeah.
Like do it. And like, good luck, right? It's kind of the idea. So these are just more like he literally just like reached, like unlocked, opened from the outside and came in. He has a large bucket filled with human waste. He is very clearly what he responds with, as you say, to clean up some of your messes. Aaron hangs his head. I fucked everything up. I'm sorry.
Oh, playing pretend didn't work, Mr. Kirk? Color me surprised.
I was just... so alone. I felt so alone. I felt so far from
No, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. I was right there. The fuck do you mean you were alone?
I just wanted more. I wanted more, Flynn. And I
look where I fucking got you. You ruined people's lives. You are killing people. You didn't know better. You were embarrassed, and you were only embarrassed because you let yourself be embarrassed because you were a child and you were scared of being different. And I was right there. I could have shown you people who would have loved you. But no, I'm just your fucking nerdy little brother. What the fuck do I know, right?
You know why I'm here? You know how I got here, Flynn?
I have a pretty good guess.
Guess.
You thought you could be one of them? You thought that they could ever look at you and see anything but a Jew?
I'm here because I said I was you. Took your story. I've never been as interesting. I've never been as smart. I've never been as capable. And I wanted to impress them with my story, with your story, and I made it mine. And they were all interested, and they all wanted to know more about this creature I met in the woods as a kid. And they told me that they could help me. They told me that they showed me a bunch of stuff, and it was wrong. It was wrong. You're right. I feel so inadequate all the time, and it was easy to blame that on our Jewishness. But you're never just my nerdy brother. Even though you're my younger brother, you've always been my hero, and I just wanted to be like you. And they took me and they tried to run. They searched me. First, they told me they wanted me to join them and be a part, and I gave up some information when I was working at the bank. And as I shared more of this story, they said, meet us somewhere. 2 days later, I woke up here. And they got the truth out of me that it wasn't my story. Sorry, Flynn. And I'm sorry you're here.
It is way too late for that.
I know. It's too late, Prola.
How rough does he look? Like on a scale from Rosalia to Dickie?
beyond Dickie.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's been here months.
Are there guards in the room right now?
Nope. It looks like they were keeping him alive, essentially to clean up and to, like, be a jester. You don't even necessarily think they know he's Jewish.
Cool. I'm going to shove him to the ground.
Okay.
And I'm going to wrap my hands around his throat.
Okay. Give me a brawl roll. We're literally just looking for not a fumble.
Yeah. I might have fumbled.
No way.
Can I push it?
Yes. How does Flynn push it? Actually, I will tell you how Flynn pushes it, and you can decide.
Oh, I had an idea.
You go to push him to the ground, and at first he takes it, and he thinks you're going to hit him, and he's ready. He wants the gratification of penance. But as your hands close around his throat, there's a look in his eyes to you. And he grips your hands, but he doesn't even fight. What you see in his eyes is the same look that any trusting animal is given their owner at the back of a shed. And that moment causes you to flail. And what you hear in the back of your mind, give me what is mine. What does Flynn do?
I see him give me that look. Let me do this one thing for you.
And your brother smiles, as it doesn't take very long for his breathing to slow, and then his heart to stop. Alethea.
I'm so sorry. Can I do anything for this?
Yes.
Still straddling him. I'm gonna just put a hand on his chest and just whisper a prayer for him in Hebrew.
What are some of the other thoughts in Flynn's mind? Like, what's going through Flynn's mind as this happens? What is the purpose of the prayer?
For a little boy who died a long time ago.
Sort of as a last rites, sort of like laying to rest.
Yeah. Because this person in front of me is not who I lost.
Yes.
That kid is who I lost. That kid was my brother. And that is who I'm praying for. And this guy on the ground right now is lucky I don't believe in hell. And if my parents ask, he died a hero.
Intention and repetition.
Yeah. And then also, like, I have a sister now. And I know she's coming for me.
And you feel, as Alethea repeats this last rites and creates a physical connection and somewhat casts a spell. Unintentionally. You see Aaron's, what you would call a soul or life essence or whatever, sort of rise up out of him. And Alethea, you feel an incredible wave of power as you see something crawl out, smoke crawl out from underneath this building and slither its way down that hole. And somewhere deep inside, you know that Flynn made the decision that you couldn't all those years ago.
I hope Cricket feels it was the correct decision.
Okay. What is Alethea's? Bastion? What is Alethea's plan? What do we got? What's the? You feel like you can reach out in that connection.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like now it's stronger than ever. You feel like here it is not just, and particularly with what has just transpired, you feel as though between this sort of like well of power, this concentration of mystic and magic, this like thinnest of veils between our world, the mundane and the arcane, right? You feel like you can fully communicate with Flynn with no like effort at this point, if you want.
Cricket, there are 25 people, roughly. Only 8 of them are soldiers. One of them is SS. We need to move quickly while you all have a strength. I will see if I can find weapons to bring so you are not unarmed.
Flynn,
If you see an opportunity, tell.
give me a spot hidden roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
97.
Are you fully serious? All right. Yeah, Flynn didn't see anything.
Can I respond though?
Yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna give you something to respond with.
Oh, yeah. I'll keep an eye out. Please be careful, moja siostra.
Rosalia, your children's heads are sort of nestled together, their eyes tight. Dickie may have even passed out for a second from sort of weakness. And like that overwhelming emotion, you know? And over their heads, you see Flynn take the life of what could only be his brother. And then you see them retreat and sort of look down in consternation.
I'm like in a corner, sat with my back against the wall, just like not really looking at anything.
That's what I figured. That's why I retreated to the corner.
So I can see Flynn.
Yeah, you're like 10 feet from Flynn.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
But you also did see a sort of black smoke rise out of this body, crawl underneath outside the door. So that was also a little weak. Actually, both of you give me sanity rolls.
Haha, sure.
Flynn at disadvantage.
No. Really?
That is it's a fail by 1.
Fuck 'em up.
Is this by seeing a dead body?
By seeing someone murder. Oh, you're hardened. Good call.
So I ignore the sanity loss.
You've seen this shit before. You feel a panic rise, and you remember the Sophia. You remember the last few days, and you don't know, and you don't think you care as much whether this was justified or not. you know that you have your kids to save, and if you don't, at least you're together.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
My sanity is a 50, and I rolled a 79.
Okay. Woof.
I want the viewers to know it was originally a 69.
Hey!
Flynn, you lose 11 sanity.
11. Okay. Thank you. My favorite number.
And I will say that in your vision now you see the Baba Yaga. As
Not-
you are
not the
closing
brew
your
house?
eyes and you open them and you look up, they are not physically here. Rosalia, after you do that communique with Alethea, after you sort of like concentrate and close your eyes and you open them,
You mean me?
this close to your face, Flynn, is after you communicated with
You said Rosalia.
You said, yeah.
Oh, sorry. With Alethea. Flynn, after you communicate with Alethea, you sort of like open your eyes, and in your face is a pallid, gray, warted, yellow, black, and green, black gummed, smiling from ear to ear like a Cheshire cat, hooked nosed, stringy haired. What? Good job. So what do we do now? What's the plan?
We wait for Alethea, and you go back to her.
Waiting on Alethea. Been there, done that.
She's better. You're better off together.
I don't know. I like what you're serving up.
I want my friend back, and she wants you back. So that's what's going to happen.
That may be what you want, but is it what you are best suited for? I know you, Flynn. I see you, Flynn. There is the Flynn that you want the world to see. There is the Flynn that you want to be. Just and more. And then there's the Flynn that is selfish and wrathful.
I did what you told me to do.
And you enjoyed it. And with that, Flynn will spiral for a bit. And your next roll, you have at disadvantage.
Okay.
We're going to do a skill check roll once the plan kicks off, and yours will be at disadvantage, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fine.
Rosalia.
Okay.
You see all this happen. You see Flynn kind of like going through it, and then just full dissociation.
Okay. When you came in, did you see the generators? Did you see those? Do you know where those are?
Who are you talking to?
Elsie and Dickie.
Oh, yes. They are located behind the main building, I believe, on this side.
And we're how far from them?
100 and... You would see this. Give me a spot hidden roll to see what you saw on your way in.
Okay. Ooh. Where are you? That is an extreme success. Wait, no, hard success. My bad.
Yep. So you saw a gun locker as you were coming in, as they were stripping you and shaving your head and spraying you down and delousing. They were gathering your personal effects. And again, like, this is a very sparse, like, if this was a full facility, you would have no idea where anything is, right? There would be like full dedicated areas to just this, to just the next step, and then to just the next step, right? And instead, it's just like, because it's a makeshift deal, like, there's essentially one big locker that they put a lock on. And that has, and it looks like there's a bunch of different like guns and effects, like all kinds of personal effects. and they put all the like valuables there. It looks like, and then there's like a pile next to it that looks like it's like a hamper or like trash, and they're probably gonna like burn or go through the clothes or things like that. And like
And this is in this barn area,
Yes,
or is that
it
in the
is.
main? Okay.
Yes. So you guys are in the other half, and it's just cells. They're not locked very well. Like I said, like you saw Aaron just like literally unlock, opened, and went in, right? The door between here and the next section, the next segment that has that locker of valuables, and then that other processing area and the other small room where you were questioned. That area, there's a locked door. There's a more secure door. So it's essentially like they don't care if you guys go into each other's cells and fuck around or whatever, right? Like that you're stuck here is what it is. And you're not going to get to the stuff that could help you actually escape and like run and survive.
Okay. We need to get access to those guns. We need ammunition. We need some sort of something.
Flynn, give me a listen roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
You are being taunted by the witch.
Oh God.
When I did the spot hidden, would I have noticed if there were any vehicles?
So that's not really yes. So you to be clear, like the spot hidden wasn't necessarily. There's two vehicles. It looks like there's an armored truck.
Okay.
Like a like closer to like pickup sized, and then there's like a Jeep, like off-roady style thing. Yeah. And the like I should say not armored truck, sorry, a covered truck. Armored does not make sense. It's a like a canopied, like one of those.
Yeah.
Looks like it could bring personnel and or large amounts of equipment. It's probably how they got the generators up here. Is that big truck?
I rolled 2 94s.
You have to be kidding me. You don't hear any of that.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. That's it.
Is she just taunting me?
Yeah. She's just like I think she's also like giving you like going sort of like a play-by-play or not play-by-play, like is sort of like has a running ranking of like the all the atrocities those that she has committed and is ranking you in there. So you're being bombarded with like horrible things.
Can I say something? Can I cut her off?
You can try, but this is sort of reflects that loss that people. This is the sort of result.
Sorry, say that last part again.
The result of that lost sanity. This is kind of like flavor of instead of making you pass out for an hour or like go crazy.
Just bitch be yapping.
Yeah, bitch be yapping. Rosalia, as you see Flynn sort of devolve into sort of go into their own hole and think it's probably best to leave them after what just happened. I need idea roll from you. You can get the help from Elsie and Dickie. We'll go that advantage. And then with you, Alethea, give me a stealth roll. So you got the outside scoped. Let's see how well you can give me a stealth roll to see how well you can like peek in windows and see, because you still don't know necessarily, like you see a satellite over the lab, but you don't necessarily know if like the radio room's in there or whatever, right?
I got a 1.
Beautiful.
I would like to push this roll. This feels very important for me to get right.
Yeah. How does Alethea push it?
Also wild to fail this roll.
Pretty crazy.
I think Alethea is trying to get in, but because there are so few soldiers and she's so pressed for time, she's not able to figure out the patrol paths or things like that to get in safely. So I think her original plan was to like hold off, cut the generators, make a distraction, break people out of the like jail, things like that. But I think that she's like, if I have to get to the base to do fucking anything, and so she is going to get desperate. I think she's going to cut the gens, like one of the generators early, like take a shot at it.
Okay, give me the roll, and let's see what happens. And then I'll narrate what happens.
Oh, much better. Exquisite success from a 95 to a 13.
You go to cut the generators, knowing that at the very least somebody's gonna come look at them, whatever, right? And as you grab the sort of like the base of it, and you have your knife, and you're gonna get ready to cut a couple wires, you feel a tug on your sleeve. It's the dog. It's one of them. And they kind of pull your arm, and they're very clearly shaking their head. You then hear like a low whimper, and then you hear a loud bark and a yell. Oh God! Fuck! Oh, got some dog! Get the dog! And then you hear a large commotion, and that provides you some cover. And you see what you see. That provides 3 soldiers go to chase the dog. So now there are 17 left. And that gives you the opportunity to look around and find the layout of these buildings. So in the officers' barracks building, although the satellite is over the lab, you see that there's wires in there. That's where the radio room. So the radio room's in there. The lab is where, and in that also in that officer's quarters room, you see the SS officer is in his office. He's reviewing something. It looks like, and in that office, you see the prize, the Black Grimoire. It's open on his desk. And that it looks like he's reviewing that and comparing some notes to something else. And he's kind of like making his own notes. The next thing you see is that you get a peek in the lab. It looks like it's, like I said, there's like a clean room area to like get brushed off of particles. It looks actually that it's used when you come out. Because it's very dark. There's like a lot of crap in there. It looks like it looks almost like the inside of an open wound. The next, and then and that's really like that's kind of all you can really see, because there's not much more unless you go like deeper, right? The next thing you see is in the like prisoner storage building is all the things I described. So you see a locker. You see one of them is, the locker is open right now. They're sort of going through the stuff, the new things. Mm-hmm. You see Elliot's locket, and you hear one of the guys say, "Hey, don't touch that. He might be the boss says he's might they're trying to turn him." So you hear that as well. You see the locker with valuables and guns and stuff like that. And then there's another hamper that looks like it's huge, right? It's like one of those big like industrial laundry size. They're obviously not doing laundry, so clearly this is either dumped or burned or something, right? And then you see something else. And this is what makes you know that they're burned. Out behind, not too far away, is a pit with ashes and other remains.
Could he get there is a weapons locker just outside of your prison. It is unlocked. I believe that I can take out the guards. We can get our weapons. We can get out.
Okay.
Give me a power roll, Flynn.
Oh, power. Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
Gonna hear the witch.
Can I push it?
Please do.
The desperation.
Where does Flynn dig deep to shut the witch out? You cannot draw from its own, that you try to, right?
Yeah.
You try to do what Alethea did with you, of like, you kept trying to ignore her, and it's like a bully, which you're familiar with, right? She feels, she is with you, is in you, is you. There's nothing you can hide.
Right.
So even though you try to ignore the gratification of your annoyance, the deliciousness of Flynn's guilt, the sweet sucker of his pain is feeding this witch right now in her hollow. Where does Flynn dig deep to find the power to resist this?
I think it's the realization that, yeah, she's just a bully. I've faced far worse at this point. That doesn't really scare me anymore. And so what if I enjoyed it? Yeah, one less Nazi in the world, one more evil piece of shit that history's not gonna remember. I'd do it again if I had to. Alethea's voice is the only one that matters right now, because that is the voice that is going to lead me to survival. And no, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, hearing Alethea, I think, is what grounds me, because
I love that.
With all that I know about her now, since like getting to meet her in person, there is still so much about her that I want to know. I want to see what she wears, not because it's best at protecting her, but because she likes the colors. I need to know my friend when there isn't a war. So whatever I have to do.
Roll it.
Everyone blow on it. Thank you. 22.
Beautiful.
That's a hard success.
Perfect. The witch latches on to, if I would do it again if I could, and I would enjoy it.
That's not quite what I said, but okay.
I thought that is almost exactly what you said.
I said I'd do it again if I had to.
Oh, sorry. But she latches onto that and is sufficient to say, and is sufficient to retreat for the moment, as maybe they feel the importance of what's going on.
Yeah.
While this is happening, we're going to jump back just a few minutes before this plan kicks off. Elliot Fowl. A German SS officer in a black uniform with a large iron cross stands in the doorway. Dr. Fowler, a pleasure.
Is it?
You have no idea.
Pleasure for you, maybe.
Karl Otto, a doctor myself. And he extends a hand.
I'm not taking his fucking hand.
He sort of nods.
I don't make deals with fascists.
Hell yeah. He sort of nods. I understand the sentiment. And I apologize. As well as I apologize for the nature of your arrival. However, as you know, your friend's aims are contradictory to ours. And much Aryan blood has been spilt these last days. And recompense is necessary. I'm sure you understand.
No, I actually don't understand. Because the lives of innocent people are coming at the expense of whatever the fuck you're trying to run here.
Dr. Otto sort of chuckles a little bit. He says, "Is there truly any innocence, Dr. Fowler? How many of us stand by and watch others suffer? When you sit in your home off campus of UPenn, your beautiful brownstone, with your partner Charlie, and you enjoy your tea.
Don't you
your
fucking
side
say
room.
his name.
You take 4 damage as you are pistol whipped. And he says,
All right.
"If you do not keep your manners, Dr. Fowler, I will ensure that they are enforced. Do not interrupt again. Thank you. As you enjoy your life and your time, how many suffer? How many suffer now in your country? What is innocent about that? I have moral superiority because I am honest about what I am and who I am. I prioritize myself and those under my protection. As do you, and as does everyone. One of us tries to lie to themselves and pretend that their inaction is not an action, that their choice to not join a fight is some sort of neutrality. But you know it's not. Every day you chose, as you sat on that. It is regrettable what happened to your husband. That was not the intention. If you would like, I can bring the man who took Charlie's life to you, and you can end his. Whichever way you please.
Fine. Take me to him.
Wunderbar. Bring the book, please. And as you enter,
Pick up.
and as you exit this room, oh my God.
You okay?
Yeah,
I need a shower after playing these NPCs.
yeah.
I
yeah.
hated that.
That was bad.
I love you, David. I love you, David.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. As Dr. Otto leads you out of the room, there's nobody standing guard anywhere. There's no this isn't that kind of facility, right? This is just like there's some people walking around. There's some guys that look like they're lounging in there's two guys. There's 2 guards outside, right? That are staying in a tiny little hut. It looks like just making sure to look out kind of thing, right? On a maybe 10-foot tower, just enough to see over the fence. Nothing crazy. And more like a platform, not even like a tower, right? Just something so they can see sort of over the fence. But he catches a guard's attention. And does Elliot speak German? He does not. That's not one of the ones we said fluently, right?
No.
So I need an other language roll, which I think we said if they were not fluent was like 30.
Okay. That's a failure.
You just I think you hear something and like you're kind of not there, so you're not really paying attention. Like it was you weren't expecting German because he spoke to you in English and caught too late, and you just heard something about the lab, like bring it to the lab or something like that. Okay. As you go to the lab, you enter. Once again, you see this like clean room area. You go in deeper. There's just sort of walls around, like up, and then it's just like kind of blocking what comes out. And as you go deeper in, there's small lights, and you hear the loud thrum of the generators as you pass over the area that they are like the power is being sourced into here, right? And there's like all these lamps that come down. And as you come down deep, maybe like 30 or 40 feet into this like crevice, it opens up into like a large bulbous area. Like the cave is bulbous. It doesn't look rough. It looks like it doesn't look like time and water. It looks like somebody scooped out a piece of this mountain. And it's just this like big, like circular domed, like sort of cave. And it doesn't look like anybody, it's hard to say somebody lives here, but somebody maybe worked here, somebody existed here on a scale that's so much larger. And you're reminded of a verse from the Bible about the seraphim and how much larger they were as you see the scale of this alchemy table that makes you feel like a toddler as you pass underneath the side of it. And there's these large bushels of clearly dried and aged, that's like preserved, different herbs and oils and etc. Right? You next see, you see a big cauldron. You see unmistakably a dog bed. An area next to these like workbenches in between the two, right? There's like an alchemy one, and there's the cauldron, and then there's another area that looks like it's like a butcher area. There's cleavers and bone saws and kind of rudimentary elements like that. And that's all the preserved stuff that like they are clearly like taking from to the other side of the cave that is the lab stuff. And on the other side, you see it. It doesn't look like it did 20 years ago. It does not look like a cocoon as much. But it is unmistakably the same thing. This one it looks like it's covered in bark, where the other one looked like it was sort of covered in that like more of like a cocoon, and you remember it began to crack as it brought on to the Sophia. And you see this same one, it's because this like bark, this black bark is what seems to be encasing this, again, roughly the size of like a 10-year-old kid, right? This is like a 4-foot, huge diameter, like seed that looks like it's encased in bark, and there's this like black sap that it looks like it's solid, but it also very clearly looks like it was dripping down and out. And it's this black ichor, right? It's this like disgusting. All of the vibes you got from the Watcher are not here. Whereas the Watcher was benevolent, protectorate, you get...
This is something more chaotic.
Protectorate. Yes. It is not chaotic. It is calculated. You don't know that yet, but you don't get chaos. You get anger. You feel just like in the pit of the Sophia, right? You feel this like saturation of death and hate and resentment in this place. And again, just like on the boat, you see that this has changed recently, and things are happening. Dr. Otto comes in. There's 2 armed guards. One of them looks like it's a lot like Ace, actually. Just looks like an average dude. He looks very American. And Dr. Otto goes, Alec, come here. And then he like gives another look to the other gentleman. And he says, "This is Dr. Elliot Fowler. Could you give him your gun, please?" And you see a very confused look on his face. And a very bad realization. As he goes to grab the gun, and the man behind him pins his arm to his holster. And words are passed between them. And his gun is handed to you. Dr. Otto also hands you a knife from his hip and says, "However you would like to do it, Dr. Fowler. But please get on with it. We have business." As this is happening, the guards come in. And they grab Flynn. What Dr. Elliot Fowler failed to hear was grab the boy. What does everybody do?
Wait, sorry, just to clarify. So,
You are in a completely different building. All this part happened concurrently with what was happening. You guys are doing your plan. And as you guys are discussing things, you being the relay between Rosalia and Alethea, and Alethea relays after they did their reconnaissance of the layout, relays everything that they know. Well, essentially, as you guys are wrapping that up, a guard comes in to grab you, to take you away.
is he armed?
Yes.
Fuck. Okay, because I can't fight him up.
He doesn't even act. Well, to be fair, he doesn't actually grab you. He
Okay.
points a gun at you and says, "Up, up, go." And he goes to take you out.
Is there any
Out of the
way?
room, not take you out.
Right.
Is there any way that Rosalia could take the gun from him?
Oh God.
He's standing he's not anywhere close to you. I
thought we were close by.
No, yeah, the guard is not. He didn't go in. He stood out, unlocked the door, pointed a gun, and said, "Go." So, I'll tell you this: technically possible if you roll a 1.
Yeah,
Almost any other circumstance. Not gonna work.
No. I thought he was significantly closer, and then I could do some sort of brawl, something to get his gun away from him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not risking it.
I'm going to comply. As I do, I'm going to reach out to Alethea. Okay. I'm gonna reach out to Alethea. Brujita, I'm being relocated. I don't know where or why. Your friend is very excited.
Do not do anything that she tells you to do. She only speaks lies. And I'm going to look at the dog that is not being the distraction.
The other one has looped out around now,
Cool. I'm going
with blood on his jowl.
at one of the dogs. I'm going to say both to the dog and to the thing inside of me, "It is time. Let us save our friend." And send the dog to the guard that has taken Flynn.
Okay. Let's do it.
Wow.
Can I say something to Flynn as he's walking towards the guard? Whisper something to him?
Oh, also Rosalia, you would have found out where the radio room is from what was relayed as well. So the radio room is in the officers' quarters, just so you know.
Yeah,
That is where you would drop that code, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to.
Yeah. Can you say something to Flynn? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
The guard doesn't speak English, so they're not gonna necessarily understand.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, wherever you go, if you find that egg or nest,
Seed.
get rid of it.
Copy that.
When you hear that, Flynn, you hear a cackle.
Like a yes, do that cackle, or like a
Try it. Cackle.
okay.
Fuck around and find out. Kind
A
of.
dismissive cackle.
I see the game we're playing. Okay.
The kind of cackle you would hear an adult, or the kind of laugh you would hear an adult give if a child said they were going to kick your ass.
So, with Alethea sending the dog, she is going to ready her gun. She's trying to take out the guard without firing, so we have time before the...
So I will say, I will give you that there are more guards in that area. You have 4. There was 4 in there. 1 went in to get Flynn, 1 is waiting at the door, and there are 2 in that other,
Gotcha.
One's going through the goods.
There are multiple guards.
Yeah, 1 is going through the goods, and 1 is just kind of sitting there. You can tell, this is, their shift.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then
Yeah, it's just 1 that went in to pull out. Yeah. I figured you wouldn't do that if that was the case.
Gotcha.
And then 2, if you wait, 2 do come out. It is a very small window, but 2 come out, and they look with Flynn. 1 is in the front, 1 is in the back. So 1 opens the door. 1 is opening the door, as the other is a few steps behind Flynn with a gun pointed.
Yeah, I think
order him to follow.
Knowing how many guards are, as soon as I don't think that Alethea would wait for the guard to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I think as soon as Flynn sends the distress signal, essentially, then it's like, okay, it's go time. Send the 2 dogs, and I'm going to take aim and take a shot.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So I'm going to need now, if that's the go, we're going to do the same system we've been doing. I have a few different, it's going to change a little bit based on when you decided to intervene. Not a huge deal. But I have a few different scenarios based on this. So I need everybody, we're going to do this 2 times to give you guys a chance to see how this develops. Okay. So I need a roll from everybody. You can pick whatever role. It's essentially a challenge group skill roll, right? So everybody give me a roll of how you are trying to. Elliot, for this one, you don't have to. Things are going to happen, and you can choose to use your action to kill this man who killed Charlie, or to do whatever you want. Okay. So first, give me everybody, what are you doing and what's the role? Let's start with, we'll go with you last, Mags. Start with you, Julia.
I need more time to think.
Okay, you got anything, Rosalia? Alethea has a plan.
Yeah, it's executing it.
Also, Alethea, you get yours at advantage because you have the dogs.
I don't need advantage because I got my first crit. I got a 1.
Yay!
So again, okay, I gave a little bit of peek into this. Your best case scenario from this first round, you need a 7 total. Your crit counts for 3.
All right, y'all got to hold up your end.
Sorry, actually, I take that back. Your crit counts for 4 because it's a crit. Extreme success counts for 3. 1, 2, 3, and then a crit counts for 4. I apologize.
Okay.
So you have 5 to go, which means somebody needs a hard and the other 2 have to succeed, or 2 hard successes at a minimum.
And I'm going to focus this roll in on occult for the dogs, actually, because I think that they're going to be the ones to actually be in there and stop them from killing Flynn or things like that over shooting.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it some flavor once I get what everybody's doing, and I'll kind of I'll make the dogs the forefront, and I'll give you some zhuzh. Is anybody else got what they're gonna do?
I want to use a cult.
Flynn, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a cult. Whoop, they dropped one. I'm using a cult. I want to I want to fuck with these guys' senses, make it so they don't know what's coming.
Okay, perfect. Give me that roll, and I'll give you the flavor.
Success.
I was gonna say the other thing I will say is in this instance you can also use luck, or sorry, you can use sanity.
That's not gonna be
to get you wherever you want, or you can use pushing as well. But
no.
Remember how pushing works, right? If you fail, okay.
Yeah, no, I succeeded. We're not gonna push it.
Okay.
Resolve with my track record tonight.
So we are currently at 5.
Okay. I am curious what so the door hasn't opened yet. Or has that locked door opened?
The locked door is, we'll say it's closing right now. That it's a slow closing door, and it's just sort of like it's closing. As Flynn is being led just out of the door. We'll say the 2 guards, the first one that's leading is just out. Flynn is like in the threshold out of the building, and the door that is separating the separate area to the prison area is closing.
Okay, then I'm wondering what kind of roll would it be if I just full speed ran at this dude and like tackled him?
Yeah, because he does have to lock the door when he goes to
like
close
I mean
it.
like
Yeah, because that'll take time. I get what you're kind of trying to say.
if that's not possible,
we can go. Yeah, just relax. We can go with like physicality, like size. We can do size. We can do brawl. And I would let power. But
I prefer size.
That will come with repercussions. Okay, go ahead.
Because I got a 95 in that.
Okay.
Ooh. That is a hard success.
Okay. Seven. This is not the bad place. But Elliot, if you don't do anything, there will be repercussion. If you don't. And if you, I will also say, there's a chance Elliot could make it worse. Failures count against. They do not just count for.
Yeah.
So what you hear, Elliot, what you first see is the lights go out. And then they flicker back on immediately, like a backup generator was just tripped. And then the next thing you hear is, "Where did she come from? She's everywhere. She's everywhere. Where is she? It's so big. What is going on?" And you hear sort of shouting. And then in this moment, the Dr. Otto Braun is distracted.
Cool. The lights are flickering off and on.
No, it just went off, and then it came back.
Damn.
It's very low lit.
And it's just me and the Nazis in the room, right?
Yep, it's you. There's the guy in front of you that's killed Charlie. There's a guy behind him that you assume is some level of similar, like, these are probably, if you had to guess, these are like the real killers on the base. These are like protectorate of these are SS soldiers, right? And these are guys that are like the best of the best that are clearly here as the like whatever of this commanding officer. And then I'll say, let me roll a die real quick, see how many are working right now. We'll say that 4 They are not armed. These are lab assistants. These are Elliots.
So it's the 2 guards, this bitch Otto, and these nerds.
And 4 nerds.
And I have a pistol in my hand? A
You have
pistol that can
Luger
fire
that
3
shoots
rounds?
5 rounds in a round. You have a Luger in your hand.
Cool. I want
An
to
automatic
shoot.
pistol.
I want to shoot the man who killed Charlie twice,
Okay.
the other guard once, and then Otto's getting 3 rounds in the head.
Give me an idea roll.
That's a hard success.
That's a terrible plan.
Okay,
Emotional Elliot. That's what
fine.
a young Elliot would have done. The idea that you're going to take out these 2 hardened men with 1 bullet is not ideal.
Okay.
But you also know that Otto is unarmed. He's on his own base. He feels protected. He gave you his 1 ceremonial knife. A large K-bar style knife. Elliot can choose what he wants, and you do what you want to do, but it would occur to Elliot to verify the most dangerous people are gone.
Okay, then I'm just gonna take out Otto then.
Okay.
Otto's the least dangerous person.
Physically,
Oh, he's the least dangerous.
Yeah,
Okay.
He doesn't have a weapon.
you are the light.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Mag's thinking. Not Elliot. Clearly.
You think back to, like, I'll put it this way. You think back to that fight, that battle in the Valley of the Sophia. And it was like the moment that the, like, high-level Virgo Pastoris died, what happened? The officers
Mayhem.
scattered, right? There's
Yeah.
like a loss. So it's kind of like that thing, right? If you take out the big hitters, you can potentially, like, either reload, or it's you, an empty gun and a knife in your hand versus Otto the next time you have an action. Do you understand?
Kinda.
Okay. Just give me
I'm also very over.
Just give me a shoot roll at advantage.
Yeah. Ooh. Shooting at advantage. Not a sentence you'd ever thought you'd say to Elliot Fowler.
Growth.
That's a 42 on a 43.
Okay. So that brings us to 8. Okay. Okay. Rosalia. Actually, we're gonna start with. Sorry, this is like really hard. We are gonna start with Alethea. Alethea, you see the moment you see Flynn is in the threshold. Before, like, the thought comes to your mind, and before you can even think to indicate to the dogs, one of them pulls the power. All of the lights in the base go out immediately. Rosalia, you take that as your opportunity to sprint to the door as fast as you can.
On my way to the door, like as I'm running, I'm going to like yell and say, Elsie, grab Dickie.
I got this. So the lights go out, you run towards the door. That is happening. Flynn, the lights go out. Alethea says essentially it's go time. You beckon to your not so quiet passenger now. you see she's now duplicated and is like sort of everywhere. And as much power as she has through you, you don't necessarily like, you can't, it's like something being so unfamiliar with, right? Like, even if you're a natural at something, there's often a lot of times that there's like a hesitation to like go full bore because you're like, I don't know the limits of this new power, right? I don't know the like consequences necessarily of like if I push too far. So what it manifests is like essentially all these different versions of this hag that are different sizes and different reflections. And as you look at this, you see that it's like through time. And you see that like these different reflections, right, as she like breaks into like a mirror and then like splits out and begins to just like cause mischief and mayhem in this like courtyard, right? This like small courtyard. You see these different versions, and you see that like as they go back further, you can only assume she does become more human looking. She's still huge, right? The back straightens, the hair becomes fuller, it has more color. It is like a brown. She looks very Spanish. And by the time you find the one that you think is like the most original, it's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. Tall, elegant, with a large staff, and in what you would like in D&D terms think of like as a druid, like in sort of that kind of garb, right? It's very much like a witch of the woods. And that gives you the opportunity, because you guys are not restrained. I will say that as well. So you can have the opportunity to go back to what you know is the open locker and grab a gun to get ready for your next round. Rosali, you burst through the door. You burst through the door, and as you tackle the first guard, and Flynn is going, and Flynn comes back in through the door, Dickie and Elsie are following just behind.
Mm-hmm.
One shot is fired, and Elsie is hit in the shoulder and goes down.
Oh, I'm screaming and running back after
I understand.
her.
You are able to pull the weapon from the guard that you have pulled from. Those two are taken out. The two in the courtyard are taken out. So all the guards that were in there are done. And you think that you have about half of the actual armed soldiers out. Elsie is hurt. Elliot, you just heard gunfire, and that's what provided that moment of distraction. Dr. Otto Braun's head is fully turned. Alethea, you were also able to take out two more as they quickly head out of in that one round, right? You get 2 rounds per whatever. So 2 more come out. Elliot, you have an inkling that a move has been made. That perhaps Alethea did not take the easy route and head home like they could have. That Alethea came back to fight. And in that moment, you shoot 2 first at the man who killed Charlie, immediately dropping him. The other takes a defensive position and is able to avoid the first shot. The second one clips him in the leg, but you're able to quickly empty 2 more into him. The gun is empty. And you have a K-bar, style knife, a large Bowie knife in your other hand, as Dr. Otto Braun turns on you.
I'm going to grab that fucking bastard by the collar of his shirt, slam him against the wall, and put that knife right up to his jugular.
Does not wait for that to happen and instead attacks you.
Fuck.
in that struggle, Elliot takes 8 damage. As the knife, and you fighting over control of this knife, as you were dealing with that, we are going to go into our next round. This is essentially the last major rolls, consequential rolls. I'm going to be very honest with you. The bar is very high for this. We need major successes sort of across the board for this to not be very hard. Also, in your struggle to get the to subdue the guards, Rosalia, you took 3 damage, and Flynn, you took 7 damage. You didn't take any.
I was about to ask, in the days that it took us to get to the lab, could we have gotten our 1d4 per day?
We did that already last session. You didn't do that?
We did, but then you said there were additional days getting to the lab?
Oh, to the lab is 1 day, and no.
Okay.
That was not restful.
Okay, so how many did I take?
What did I say, 4?
I think you said 3.
3, sure. One of you had 4.
No, I took 3 points of damage. You took 7.
You took 7.
I took 7?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Okay.
Yeah, is this not?
Ow.
Oh, you think we're back on the Sophia?
I thought, okay, I heard 3 and 4. I did not hear 3 and 7, but okay.
The one was bad and one was good. Okay. I'm gonna roll very quickly to see what kind of response they have for the weapons locker. But now everybody can have a second. Everybody's armed now. You all have guns. Elsie is hurt on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
In her weakened state, this gunshot wound did a lot of damage.
Okay.
She is unconscious.
Is Dickie
Dickie
standing?
is weak, but grabs a gun, and you see a look of resolve in his face that this is a man, much like his father, that will do whatever it takes to the end to protect his family.
Okay.
Dickie looks at you, and as you go to tell him that you guys need to move towards the radio room, and as you were about to say, we need to move to the radio room, help me with your sister, your son picks Elsie up, puts him over his shoulder in what looks like the greatest effort of his life, grabs a shotgun that looks like it was taken off of probably some farmer who was trying to make a run for it to the coast or a run for it to France. He pumps the shotgun, throws it in the air, catches it at the trigger, and says, "Let's go, Mom." Let's go save Uncle Elliot.
I love you, son.
And he once again puts his head against yours, and you feel the trembling in his hand. And you can hear the fear in his voice as he says, "I love you too."
I know he's gonna die.
As you
Jesus Christ.
As we move on to the next round, this is it. This is sort of it's a high bar. They rolled a 2, which means they are going to be slow to respond. I believe we have 6, 3, 9. There are
The 2 that were on me are taken care of, correct?
yes.
Okay.
So we have taken out 9 total. There are 4 lab assistants inside. So that's 13 out of 27. 2, I will give 20%. One person comes out ready with a gun, and you see two others in the hallway behind as they are exiting out of the officers' quarters, and there's one individual that looks like they're returning from outside the camp, or like they were at that platform guard area that is coming from that way. I need one more set of rolls. You can pick whatever you want, however you want to fight this. If you want to tap into the occult, if you want to do shoot, if you want to tell me on a double roll, we can roll a double or nothing kind of deal. So failures count for double, but so do successes. If you want to roll 2 rolls, so if you want to roll something like a stealth and then a shoot, but you also can't double on rolls this time. So one person rolls occult, one person rolls whatever.
Oh.
It's all, yeah. It's like a skills challenge.
Is it possible? I'm so sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I know you said I can't persuade, I'm crying so hard right now. I know you said I can't persuade the group, but can I persuade my children?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no need to persuade. Whatever you tell them, they're gonna do.
Okay. Oh, God. I can't stop.
Okay. Take a deep breath.
I'm good. I'm just like, wowee.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do you want someone else to go first?
I'm not, I mean, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
Bastion, are you okay if I take a cult?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of you give me an idea roll.
Oh, okay.
Right. Success.
Success.
Do you think if you both tap in, you could probably do something exponential here with the well of power and tapping into all that stuff?
Do I see Alethea?
Yeah, now you do, right? You guys take those guards out, you grab the guns, and I'll say that you're like in the courtyard right now, like sort of like in that yeah, we'll say that nobody's out in the courtyard anymore. We'll say that you see across the way 50 or so feet in that other building where the barracks and officers' quarters is where you see one person that looks like they're getting ready to run out armed, and 2 other people behind that looks like they're sort of still getting ready. Mechanically speaking, the 2 people behind are going to essentially roll at disadvantage for this next.
Okay. This is the idea that I have. Bastion, if there's something else you'd like me to do to help, let me know. All of those like copies of the Bruja that were running around, I would like them to grab these soldiers and hold them in place for the people who are taking shots.
So we're going to do occults?
Yes.
You guys are going to try to double up occult?
If that's cool.
I would love that.
Okay.
This also applies to the double or nothing rules.
Oh,
Or the
fuck.
Double up rules. So just count for
are these-
double successes, right?
Are these rolls that can be pushed?
Yes.
Okay. Then I feel comfortable doing that if you do, Bastion.
Alethea has some hesitation because of like. No, Alethea doesn't have as much hesitation as Bastion. Bastion has hesitation because this is like the hag's place, and if we tap into her power more and more, that's what I think is going to wake up the seed. But Alethea hasn't seen inside. She doesn't know how much this is the hag's place. She just has an idea that...
For the player Bastion, and for every one of our viewers, as in the Sophia, it is a pretty significant ritual to awaken these things. So,
yep.
Just to ease Bastion, you don't think you'll awaken the... Bastion doesn't think they'll awaken. So if Alethea thinks that, then they think that. If they don't, they don't.
I don't think Alethea would because she hasn't seen what Elliot has seen. So, yeah, you're wanting to double up the Bruja, and I think I want to tap into that and what the being inside me has already gifted me, and see if I can combine that into multiplying the dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Just so if you want to double up on the occult, I'll involve the dogs. I'll involve the hag, and we'll do.
You have a story you want to tell already?
Yeah, we'll do a little coordinated thing based on what everybody else wants to do too. So this is straight up 2 rolls, no advantage this time. 1 from Julia, 1 from Bastion.
And we can push if we need to.
You can push though, if you need to.
All right.
I just want to.
All right, love you, Bastion.
You too. That, for me, is a... Hold on, I have to do quick math.
Before we get the results of both, so if one fails and one passes, you get nothing. If you both fail, those count as 2 each, and you go -4. If you both pass with a success, it's +4. If you both pass with a hard, it's +8. And I will tell you that is a significant way towards what you need.
Okay.
I got a 66, and I'm going to burn 48 of my 60 luck points that I have not used yet to bring that to an extreme success.
Yes, and I got a hard success.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Burn some luck, make it extreme.
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I forgot that was a thing we can do. How many would I have to burn to...
However many points the difference is between extreme success threshold and what you rolled.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, I also have to do math. Hold on. Oh wait, no, I think that's just 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will make that an extreme success.
We
Let's
can finish that math later. Okay, you guys, you don't need much more. I will say that, right?
Thank you for reminding me I can do that. Holy shit.
Elliot, I am unfortunately going to have to pick your role, though. You got to roll a brawl to survive.
That's right. I was gonna suggest that anyway. So.
And Rosalia, what do you think you're going to be doing? Do you have any idea yet? I will say that the idea of whether you split up or one of you goes towards the radio room or whatever, right? Like, you know that roughly an hour outbound is a drop, like somebody waiting to come drop into the spot. So.
Okay.
Or and you also know Elliot is in that lab with this guy, and you don't know what's going on in there.
I want to go to the radio room, but first talk to my kids.
Yeah, we'll say you got about 10, 15 seconds real quick, and we'll get a moment here.
Please go. Grab a car and go, and I'll have them pick you up. Please. And I'm gonna hand them the locket, and I'm gonna give them a kiss and tell them how wonderful it was to be their mom. And then I'm gonna go to the radio room.
That sounds like some sort of like persuasion, fast talk. I can maybe give psychology, something like that.
Okay.
So Elliot and Rosalia, please give me your roles.
Okay.
And let us know how this journey is.
For, you said, fast talk, persuasion, or...
Yeah, any of the like talky ones, essentially.
Okay, that's an extreme success.
Okay.
That is a 29 on a 25 for Elliot's brawl.
I'm not gonna let you use your luck.
wasn't gonna
I
use
will
it
allow
anyway.
you to push it if you would like. However, I will say if you fail this push roll, it will be catastrophic, specifically for Elliot, and will diminish greatly the efforts of your friends.
I'm gonna leave it.
I think taking my glasses off and seeing the mascara run is going to be very important for character development. So everybody gets to see that. I'm going to rub my face real quick.
Okay, here's how it goes. You see these individuals. There's one person that was alert and ready. It looks like maybe the others were kind of asleep or resting or just fucking around, right? You see untied boots. You see disheveled jackets and uniforms. There's a brief interaction of what Rosalia says to her children, asking them to spare themselves. And Dickie, you see a look of sadness and then anger, and then the rest of the cycle of grief as it can happen in a moment. And he says to his mother, I love you. I'll take care of Elsie now.
Thank you.
And he heads to the bed. Sorry, the Jeep. The next thing, as Dickie runs away, Flynn and Alethea, I think you join hands. Because again, right, intention and repetition. And together, you can do more than alone. And what happens next defies anything that anybody's seen except for the man that is struggling for his life currently in that lab. When these people pour out, Rosalia, you're tired, you're hurt, you're at the edge of consciousness and insanity, and you level your weapons against 4 armed guards. And as they go to fire, you see them stop. Their guns drop. And smoke begins to pour out of their nose and mouth and eyes. And they begin to age, and their bodies become mummified and decrepit in front of you. And their skin turns to bark as the smoke flows out of their bodies, through the doors, and into the cave.
I turn to my sister. You want to trade back?
Rosalia, you run into the room, or you run into the building as you say a quick goodbye to Alethea and Flynn, and know that they will take care of Elliot. As you enter the building, you see that it's empty, except for, not except for, you see it's empty, and you see a hallway, and there's, just as Alethea said, at the very north end, is an office, and just off to the side is that radio room.
Are there any guards that I can see? Anything?
As you open the door, there's a lone soldier quickly trying to get a message off. And we're going to get to those roles in a second.
Okay.
Elliot? Okay. I need my phone really quick.
You know it's bad when he needs to do math.
Okay. Okay. Elliot, this man tackles you, and you're fighting over the knife, and he goes, and he's stronger than you. This is what he does. He's an officer, and leads to some sort of scientific field or some sort of whatever, but at his base, he's a soldier. And you're not. And as you fight over this, you cut your hands on the blade, and as you try to stop it, as it begins to enter your shoulder and push past, you feel the hot sting of the pain and the warm flow of blood. First, cover your skin, and then you feel it puncture your lung and pour into that as you begin to choke. And then just as you feel yourself begin to be smothered by your own lifeblood, Alethea steps into the room and blows Dr. Otto Braun's head off. Ellie, you're incapacitated. You have 2 health points left. Rosalia, I need a brawl roll.
Okay. I can't point my gun straight at him.
This roll reflects that. It's a small room.
Okay.
You went to pull the gun up, and he's trying to.
Well, I have a Colt 45.
Yeah, you open the door and you weren't expecting someone. This reflects the rolls of earlier. So this is a physical struggle.
I want to use 12 luck points to make that just a regular success.
I'm not going to allow the luck points to be used in these last few rolls. So,
okay.
Rosalia, you enter into this struggle with this unnamed guard. You engage in a vicious battle, but you just don't have anything left. Tired. So tired. And you want to fight, and you know you should fight, but you also know that the reason you fight is hopefully a half a mile down the road. And as this unnamed soldier goes to end a great line, family name that goes back to the founding of Britain, Dickie enters the room and shoots him in the face.
Oh my god.
He then says to you, "Put out the call. We're leaving." And there's a tone and a finality in his voice that even if Rosalia's journey would have ended a few moments ago, you know now that your job is done. The man in front of you is a better man than his father. And one that proves your father wrong. that the origin of his birth and the class of his upbringing does not define him, but it is his choices. And it is not the violence or the extortion or the pain that he can cause that defines his strength, but the way that he extends that strength to protect others.
I put out the call.
Put out the call. Everybody is safe. Now there's some decisions. There are two grimoires here. One is black. And ugly. Elliot and Alethea, you recognize this from the intel you received from Dan Darling. Elliot, you recognize the description of this. You find these two grimoires. One is in the office, one is in the lab. The next thing you see, the other things you can find, Alethea, you find a bunch of encryption codes in the radio room. You find all kinds of incredibly valuable information, useful information, byline, and plans for bribing and blackmail of local officials to ensure that the French government stays away. Communiques with the local priests. These will help you greatly. All these things. Rosalia, you see the book as well. You've actually seen this book too, as you exit the radio room. Does anybody... What do we decide to do with this information? You guys have
real quick.
40 minutes before a plane inbound essentially lands by a near drop spot.
Is there anything I can do to stabilize Elliot?
Elliot is conscious. Elliot is not going to die. You can stabilize him. I will say that you stabilize him. We're out of whatever.
I'll just do what I can for that.
Yeah.
Well, am I near, do I know where Elliot is? Am I nearby him?
Yeah, we can say you guys all meet up in the lab.
Okay,
We'll say that the book is there. The two books are there. All the information that Alethea has, you have in your bag. There's not much else here. I'll just put it that way.
Okay, can I...
Oh, and then there's the seed.
I was just going to see if I could do the medicine for Elliot instead of Flynn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's stabilized. You don't need to roll. He's fine.
I want to stop Rosalia while she's trying to do that.
You are incapacitated, friend. You are conscious, but you don't have... You're like in a near coma.
Okay.
Well, it is a surprise to see all of you. Alethea is... one of the books was particularly attached to Elliot. So Alethea is going to grab the other one.
So who's grabbing which one? There's a black book that looks, I guess you could say, like necrotic or gives bad vibes. It's not necessarily actually attached to you don't feel...
Okay.
Flynn, you don't feel attached at all, actually.
No, I was going to say my main concern right now is finding Linda.
You find record of Linda's past. You find her dog tags and the valuables.
I'll take those. Shit.
Alethea, then if one of them is not particularly connected to Elliot, we'll take both of them.
Yeah, if you guys want, if you want to roll an occult roll for me, please do.
Is
Did
That is
Dickie go
a
back to the...
Success.
Dickie's staying with you wherever you are.
Okay.
And he's carrying Elsie in his arms.
Okay.
Sorry, what'd you get, Bastion?
Just a regular success.
You get the feeling, Flynn, you feel this too. I'll just give this to you.
Mm-hmm.
The red book, although scary doesn't necessarily mean bad. The black book, however, there is, it has a... Did you close it when you brought it back, by the way? It was open on his desk. Would you have closed it when you brought it to the lab?
Would it have been Alethea that brought it back?
Yeah, we'll say that it was you.
Yeah, she would have no
It
reason.
does not reopen it.
Oh.
Neither does the red book. If that was closed as well. But that was open in the lab. So if you haven't closed that, that's still open.
No, it's closed.
Okay. So then
I
both
would
are
have closed
closed.
it leaving the office.
Yeah, they don't open. And it looks like Elliot, as you were barely conscious, you give me a like cryptology or some sort of occult or whatever roll.
That is a hard success.
Both of these are dangerous books, clearly. The red book is dangerous in the way a hurricane is dangerous. The black book is dangerous in the way a nuclear weapon is dangerous. Is it kind of, right? There's one that it clearly has a more nefarious, a more intentionally evil energy and feel towards it. And the red one is not. So does Alethea take these books? I will say again, the note from Dan Darling says to keep it out of their hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alethea is gonna take both of them unless there's like...
Okay. And I think Alethea puts together that Alethea needs to leave because if the people that came, they're gonna want.
Mm-hmm.
So what does our goodbye look like? Flynn, it occurs to you as Alethea is packing these in her bag and is maybe taking a little too long to make sure that her straps are set and her boots are good. Everything's good. A second time, maybe you realize they're stalling because this is probably the last time you're going to see them.
Hey.
Hey.
I hug you.
Alethea hugs back. Nire Anaya. I am so sorry that our time together has been brief, but I need to believe that this will not be the last, and that I will get more messages from Riket. I will need all of the allies that I can get for what is coming.
Of
All of
course.
the allies to protect these weapons. She gestures towards the books that she is putting high cap.
Brujita. It's not the last time because I'm not going anywhere.
What do you mean?
You and me, moja siostra.
You have a family, you have a whole life. The US, it is not war-torn, it is not a bad place. You can be safe, you can be productive, you have so much.
I don't need it. It's you and me. My parents, I'll get back to them someday. You'll meet them someday. And we have all the time that we have. I'm here for you.
where I am going, where we are going, is not a good place.
I know.
It will be better for you being there.
I know you think you're not as strong without this, with this witch, whatever, but you look at what you did. Without her, look at you.
Without her, we would all be dead, right?
I'm just saying, give yourself some credit.
I understand.
I love you.
And I you. Okay.
And
I think I just kind of lose it a little bit, and like similarly to when we first met, just crying into your shoulder.
And I think as Bastion, Jesus Christ. I think as,
One more time.
as
One more time.
Flynn and Alethea drive off just to get a good head start.
I would have said a proper goodbye to everyone also and thank everyone profusely.
Of course.
And
Of course.
I'd actually give Linda's dog tags to Rosalia so that can be.
All that is assumed.
Yes.
All that is. And in this, but it's done quickly, as you know, this flight is inbound.
Yeah, just you are my heroes. Thank you.
As you see these taillights of this Jeep drive away, and you know that help is coming. You know you're safe now, Rosalia, as Dickie has now succumbed to the exhaustion, the great effort that he just exerted, and is breathing deeply as they are passed out next to you. And Elsie, whose bleeding has stopped, breathing is a little shallow for your liking, but also seems stabilized. And your friend, oldest friend in the world, Elliot Fowler, sits there. And you begin to hear the sound of propeller plane propellers as the sun just begins to lighten the sky. Still an hour or so from sunrise. And what is Rosalia's thoughts in this moment?
I'm ready to bring my family home.
And in the back of your voice, or in the back of your head, you hear a voice say, I knew you'd do it, doll. Never doubted you, kid. And that is not the end of Mythos of War, Journey Through the Pyrenees. Stay tuned for the prologue with Dr. Elliot Fowler. Thank you. It's been an incredible journey. Thank you so much to all my players. Thank you so much to our audience, our artists. I'm so proud to be a part of this and to make this with these people. Please join the Discord. Please follow us on social media. We are trying to do some really cool things upcoming soon, and all the likes, all the upvotes, all the comments will help so much. So we know it's annoying, but we're gonna ask more and more, please, if you could help with that, and we can keep making cool stuff. And
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, David.
You guys get to say one goodbye real quick. Let's do it.
Individually? Or
If you want.
Oh.
As a group.
I mean, we plugged already.
Yeah.
Get in the Discord.
Get in the Discord!
See you
Get in
next
the Discord.
Tuesday.
There it is. See you next Tuesday.
Thank you all so much.
See you in Roanoke.
Hey, be nice to people. Love is the most powerful fucking thing we have right now. I don't know where David went, that's fine.
Studio instead of in
Keep
recording.
talking.
We love you.
Oh my god.
Oh my